Hey, my name is Ray Canterbury. I'm going to be your host today on Archery Talk 101. Today, what we're going to cover is the correct hand position when you're drawing back your bow. Now, you'll be able to go out to the website for Facebook group Archery Talk 101, and you'll be able to actually see some videos. But I'm going to try and describe this, since how this is just audio. But if you take a look at the palm of your hand, and where your index finger and your thumb meet, in between there, there's a little spot right in there. And then if you go down your hand down to the palm, you're going to see in between your little finger and your thumb, there's a little spot between there where there's no muscle. So if you take and bend your wrist back a little bit, take your finger and push on the meaty part underneath your thumb, you're going to see the pressure wants to twist your wrist. And you go over to the other side for the little finger and push on it once to twist your wrist. Now take your finger right in between there. There's a little pocket right in there, and push on that. And you see it wants to go clear through your arm. So that is the part you're pushing with your bow. Now the correct position when you're holding the bow is the bow is going to run between your index finger and your thumb down to that spot we just explained in between the meaty part where the thumb and the little finger meet down at the wrist. So that's where you're going to grip that bow. Now, as you get ready to draw the bow, you don't want to be changing your hand position. So I like to take and open my hand up a little bit, put it up as high on the riser where the spot is that you're going to be gripping, wherever that is, and then let your hand relax and let your wrist drop down until you feel that pressure at that lower part that we just explained, as that's the pushing point. Now, as you put pressure on the bow and start pulling back, you're going to be pushing with that part of your hand, push it forward as you're drawing back your other hand. Now, that's the proper way that you're going to take a look at this. And when you do that, you're going to have the best position to put power into your bow and go straight to them. Now, once you get the full draw, you're actually going to, with your hand in that position, as you've got it stretched out, your hand is going to be relaxed, and your thumb and index finger are going to be pointing towards your target. So you want to project to the target once you have that out. Now you don't want to be gripping the bow. You're going to just let your hand just completely relax. Now, if you take your hand, drop it down at your side, just relax your hand is nice and relaxed. And if you look at the hand position, that's how your hand should be when you're holding the bow. If you start pushing your fingers back on side of the riser, now you're putting pressure. So just take and curl your fingers in until your fingers touch. Now, if you put your finger in that spot where you're supposed to be pushing from, you start tightening it up, and you can feel all the muscles, the tendons and everything tightening up in your hand as you curl those fingers back. And you can see it puts pressure in different spots of the hand. You want to be completely relaxed. And at the end of your shot process, your hand should go towards the target. You don't want to have your arm completely locked out as you're at full draw, because now that allows your hand to move around. If you have a little bit of bend in it, so as you're pulling with whatever release, your fingers, your release aid, whatever you're using on the string, you'll be putting pressure. And when that releases, that hand should go straight towards your target. One thing I like to do to practice without a bow is get a string, make a loop on it, put it over your thumb, make it your draw length. So you draw back whatever you're going to do. If you're using fingers or release, you're going to have to put a loop in there. You have to, whatever size loop you need if you're doing fingers or release. And that's at your draw length. You can practice shooting, and that string should go straight off your hand. If it hangs up on your thumb, you're putting some side pressure somewhere in your draw form, and you need to take a look at that. So a good way to practice, like I said, is have that string. When you shoot, that string should go straight towards whatever you're aiming at. If it goes any other direction, that's pressure you're putting sideways when your arrow is released. And that's going to make you have a little inconsistent form. So that's kind of what we're going to cover today in Archery Talk 101. If you want to get a little more information, join the Facebook group. Just answer a couple of questions out there and join the group, and we can get more information on this. We can actually look at your form You can post some videos out there, take a look at what's going on and give you some little pointers on it. And there's some videos where I describe this a little bit more detail. So I'll put a link to the group in the description. And once again, this is Roy Canterbury for Archery Talk 101, your beginner's guide to archery.